The latest advanced server patch just dropped and it's packed with hero, battlefield, and item adjustments. First up, the revamped Freya. The devs decided to keep things simple with her skills. Her first skill is now a leap. You jump to a target area, knock enemies airborne, and gain a shield. This means you no longer need to cast skill 1 to enhance your skill 2. Skill 2 now looks like this. No more airborne effect since it's already on her skill 1. But now it has a wider damage range, making it easier to hit multiple enemies. As you can see here, she can strike through a line of enemies much more effectively. And her ultimate, her basic attack damage, was increased in the late game. Overall, Freya is now more simple. Skill 1 for mobility and CC, Skill 2 for damage, and ultimate to enhance her basic attacks. One thing to watch out for though, her lifesteal, even from towers, feels a bit overtuned. Watch this. Cool, right? We'll see if the devs toned it down later. Next is Angela. Her skill 2 now shows a circle indicator after it connects to a target. If the enemies go out of its range, the link will be broken. This is a big help since you now know the exact range before the link gets cancelled. Her ultimate also got some quality of life improvements. The shield scaling nerf from last patch has been reverted, so she's back to giving stronger protection. On top of that, the auto-targeting is smarter now. It'll prioritize allies with the lowest HP, who receive damage for the last 3 seconds. That means no more accidentally attaching to teammates who are low in HP and is already recalling to the base. As you can see with just a tap, the ultimate prioritized the hero who received damage instead of the low HP one. So yeah, Angela players can expect smoother and more reliable gameplay with these fixes. Up next, Hilda, and she got hit with nerfs. The devs think that Hilda is too strong in the early game, so they toned down her passives and enhanced basic attack damage. However, they did increase her pursuit speed, so you'll feel her attacks get snappier when her passive is active. Her first skill shield now scales with level from a fixed 15% to now 10 to 20% depending on your level. In short, Hilda will feel less oppressive in the early game, but will be more durable at late. Next is Xavier. Xavier has been dominating since his skill with buffs, and now he's getting toned down. His skill to immobilize duration is now shorter, from 1.2 seconds down to 0.8. I think that's a big nerf and it will make a difference during team fights. Now let's talk about Aldous, who's getting some major buffs. His first skill's base damage now scales significantly higher, from 450 to 700 at late game. His maximum stack though is reduced, from 650 down to 600. But in exchange, there's a new feature where he can gain 5 stacks when an enemy hero dies near him. Watch this. See? Easy 5 stacks. It works even if the enemy dies from tower damage. And when they die all at once, boom, that's 5 stacks each. This change lets Aldous scale faster and encourages him to join mid-game fights instead of farming stacks all throughout the game. He might have a lower stack limit, but his skill 1 damage is now higher. Plus, he has more ways to collect stacks. We might be seeing more Aldous dominating the battlefield with this update. Next is Grock's buffs. His passive shield now scales better with HP, from 10% up to 14% of his max HP. His extra physical defense per level also went up, making him tankier overall. That's a tougher and more balanced Grock. On the battlefield, there's a new safeguard for junglers. In the early game, if a buff creep dies and a jungler with retribution is nearby, the buff automatically goes to them, even if another teammate last hits the creep. This prevents those frustrating moments where allies accidentally steal jungle buffs. Definitely a solid fix. Next are the roaming boots. On advanced server, roam items have been giving too much gold compared to other lanes, so they're getting adjusted. The thriving passive now gives less gold than EXP over time. That means you get 6 gold at the beginning, and then becomes 8 when it reaches the 8-minute mark. The devotion effect also received changes. Roamers now get a fixed 20 gold income whenever they reveal enemy heroes. They now instantly get their income when they reveal an enemy, unlike before where they only get it after revealing the target. Then there's also an added effect. If you clear minions alone in the first 5 minutes, you only get half the income. So using roam boots on a leading hero will not yield good results and will actually delay your farming. Next, we have a new rule where you can no longer buy roam boots after 2 minutes into the game. Basically, roam boots are now locked to their true purpose, helping roamers, not gold farmers. No more changing roam effects or adding another roam boots for the team. This rule should prevent cheesy tactics like multiple roam boots or other lanes using their roaming effects. Now let's move on to the item adjustments, starting with dominant size. Dominant size has been reworked into a more universal defensive item. It no longer gives HP, but instead grants both 40 physical and magic defense. Its old Arctic Cold passive has been replaced with Frost Shield, which increases your defense by 8 for each enemy nearby. That means you get tankier when there are more enemies around you. But remember, the Arctic Cold effect has been removed, which means it can no longer reduce attack speed on enemies. The Life Gain effect is still there though. This adjustment makes it more flexible against any composition, instead of the old one where it's only used for physical defense and attack speed reduction. That also applies to Black Ice Shield. It works almost the same way as Dominant Size, but with reduced stats and without the Life Bane effect. Since Dominant Size lost its attack speed counter role, Anti-Cuirass and Dreadnaught armor have been adjusted. Their unique passive Deter now triggers from both skills and basic attacks. Yes, basic attacks will now trigger its physical damage reduction, but to balance, the physical damage reduction per stack has been lowered by 1%. So that's 5% per stack for Anti-Cuirass and 3% for Dreadnaught armor. And that wraps up this patch breakdown. Freya's rework, Aldous buffs, Angela's changes, and item adjustments. So what do you think about these changes? Which of the updates are you excited to try out?